like a Lamborghini Urus, which is like a fast, like fucking car like that. So I started reading the comments, and the dude, like somebody had posted a meme being like, I can't. Oh, it's from that movie The Dictator, being like a same, but different. And they're like, imagine paying all that money for a Urus and finding out that it's really just a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this meme all about? So I started doing some digging, and it's like all these companies are all owned by one parent company.
Yeah.
Volkswagen, Porsche, Lamborghini. There's a few other ones that are Bugatti that are under this umbrella, but they all have this like an Audi as well, I believe.
Yeah.
But they all have like this kind of like
stock pieces
this
kind of thing.
crossover SUV thing. And yeah, like the motors are different, the suspension components are different and stuff like that. But at the end of the day,
you boil it down and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, this is just, I'm not spending like $65,000 on like a base model on a jazzed up fucking Volkswagen.
Well, Volkswagen
you know what I mean?
with the different fucking insignia on it.
Yeah. And Renee's father somehow is like grandfathered into like the Ford Friends and Family plan.
Yeah.
But that only goes on at a certain point in the year. I think when they hit like an overstock number or something like that, they put out like the Friends and Family discount as well.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, do we just go get another Explorer?
Yeah.
But it's like, I know the Explorer that we bought has the favorable motor in it of all the options. It's by no means an acclaimed motor. There's definitely hate on it on like the online forums and stuff, but not as hated on as like the EcoBoost and all the other options that I could have got. So now I'm in a pickle where it's like, if you go with the Porsche, it's like I at least know everything's over-engineered and shit. Like they're using this on cross-platform, so it's like if there were problems, they're gonna have recalls across everything.
Yeah.
So there's that to fall back on. But I also like chasing the police vehicles as well, because it's like they come automatically equipped essentially with the safety protocols, the suspension, all that shit that you would put on a police cruiser.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. In my head, it's kind of like I want to fucking put her in that Porsche because I think they're cool too. But I just look at it, I'm like, dude, this is a fucking crossover, and crossovers are fucking gay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's like little hatchbacks with the fucking
like I'm not gonna lie though, like when you're inside it, you forget that you're driving a stupid little car like that. But
that's kind of the trend, though. I feel like the sedan is kind of going the way of the, like most people are kind of opting for that style of car now, which I don't really understand. I'm a sedan man through and through. I'm a fucking old man. Give me a fucking Buick.
Yeah,
just like feels like you're driving a fucking couch.
And she's back on. I don't know why we're never gonna fucking jump into this like we did last time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is just what we do now.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, fine. Fucking here we go.
It's episode 13.
Episode
fucks.
13.
Read the fucking description.
Yeah. Read it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe. Talking about buying new cars as an adult.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting a new car because my car's like on its fucking way out. But at the same time, though, I got a hookup because I was gonna buy a new car because my inspection sticker's up in November. And I don't give a fuck about cars. As is stated.
Yes.
But I just found a dude who just was like, yo, I'll get you an inspection sticker for that thing,
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just like, maybe I will just fucking roll with this shit.
I might have to rely on that connection here soon.
Yeah, he does Rhode Island and Mass, so yeah.
After we get out of here, I got to go pick up a rental for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I finally dropped the lightning off to get the insurance work done. So we'll see how that turns out.
All right.
But I fucked myself, man. I put that truck on the road. I just swapped the insurance from the old truck that I was driving around that I didn't care about, and I never thought about it again. And I just had the most basic coverage. I don't have rental coverage.
Yeah.
I don't have shit. Like, they won't even help me track down or litigate anything. Because the issue was like a tree fell on my truck where I work, but that tree was on somebody's the neighbors house. to that job's property.
Yeah.
So I called them up. I go, so just because I don't have all the bells and whistles on this truck, I have it on all the other vehicles that I have insured.
Yeah.
You won't help me. And they're like, nope, we can't help you.
They won't even make a fucking phone call for you?
No.
Yeah.
And so, but luckily enough, through this, the great networking that is the hospitality biz, our homegirl Lana, she turned me on to this guy, Mike, and now I got like a $225 a week rentals. So
That's not bad.
that's not bad. I called Enterprise. The cheapest thing that I could find was like $980 for 10 days.
Damn, I was gonna say $500 a week, but yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, so even $500 a week, I would have taken that. But like $900, I was like, dude, I can't pay that. Like I'm probably already coming out of pocket to get this truck like back up and running.
Yeah,
you know, like the insurance isn't gonna give me much. This is
I mean, fuck, for $900, you could fucking Uber everywhere you wanted to, like that's 10 times.
I thought about that, like even Ubering to the gas station that's across the street from the airport, because I'm pretty sure that's like a trick if you're ever going to TF Green. Like, don't say that you're going to the airport. Just Uber to the
gas station across the
gas
street.
station and go to the Sky Bridge.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. I don't think the rates will be as
bad.
much.
Yeah,
but it was $25 when I did it at like 8 o'clock in the morning, because all these places open at 8. So I started, I got on the horn then, and I was like, all right, if it's $25 now, it's probably going to be that much after all is said and done with last call and everything, and those spiked rates going back down. Because, I'm going to be calling for an Uber at or I'm going to be needing them to pick me up at 3:40 in the morning.
Yeah, which ain't going to happen.
3:45 in the morning. Well, you can schedule. You can schedule it.
Yeah. But you still need somebody that's like willing to get up at 3:40 in the fucking morning to drive you out to the airport.
I'm telling you, dude.
There's people. Yeah, all right.
There's people Ubering 24/7. So. But yeah, so even figure call it a little hike and call it $40. I was looking at $100 a day. I was like, if I can just pay $80 to Uber back and forth, what else am I really going to be doing?
Yeah,
I'm not really up to much when I get out of work at the airport. So.
Right.
And then there was also like the possibility too that one of the girls that I work with in the morning a lot, she lives on one of the boats like outside of like a hot club.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could just grab a ride home with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just Uber from Providence to Pawtucket and probably be fine. But luckily, Lana hooked it up with that connection, and go grab that shit. And hopefully these tree guys will be done today, and my life will be back to a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
It's my first week. My first week with 2 days off in a row in like 4 months.
Look at you, fucking rejoining society.
Yeah, it's been great. I was mad about it too.
How were you mad about it?
Because that's how Lana pushed her move back because she didn't sell her house. So I was supposed to take over Monday lunches.
Yep.
ASAP. So I gave that shift away at the airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I gave Tuesdays away at the airport because I didn't want to. Just how the schedules broke down, it would have been like me doing a bunch of volumes off of no sleep, to put it in as no little words as possible. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to be making enough money, and I'll be working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But I didn't foresee Lana pushing the house or pushing her move back. So now I'm just on 2 days off. And I'm like, at first I was like, fuck, man, I want to be grinding. Now, like after having 1 and a third day off in a row already.
Like, I'm never going back to work.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the life. Yeah, I'm about to just start begging for money in a cup.
Yeah. Dude, that's the hardest part, in my opinion, is like having like a bunch of days, like going on vacation and coming back is the fucking worst. Whereas like, if you're just in it, fucking working 5-6 days a week, every week, like you don't even feel it, But you give me like, 72 hours off and I come back and I'm like, dude, all I want to do is just sell necklaces on a fucking beach somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like the Caribbean or South America or something, you're like, damn, bro.
It's just sad when you drive by like the shanty towns that the locals live in and you're like, that doesn't look so bad. maybe I could just live here forever,
They're like dreaming of a life to escape to America, and you're like, stop.
Yeah, you're like, let me just pause on your dreams here for a moment. Yeah.
Like, you guys just have bananas growing on trees that you can eat for free. Like, just stay right here.
Exactly. Your life's going to suck no matter what. You might as well get the fucking view.
Your government's not trying to poison you with the food supply or the water supply. Or, just stay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So I don't know, dude. I sent you some explosive moon landing coverage.
Oh my god! Yes, I watched it. That's the dude that is like the guy behind that video, though. He's one of the flat earthers. Like, you're throwing in with them, you know that, right? Like, I've seen him on other videos like get completely like embarrassed like being a flat earther.
You're talking about the guy that has like the
guy who is like bald and like has obviously a small dick and a shirt that says like truth. It's like, you're a fucking chud,
I don't know. It was like a compilation, the thing that I sent you, but if you're talking like this bald guy, he was on Joe Rogan and he talks like the nerd from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like he's got that. I can't even imitate it. I don't know how.
Yeah, he's
like the dude that loves Meg. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
He's got, like that nerd.
Yeah, he's a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
But
like,
dude, I don't understand how you get past the shadows.
Well,
the physics of the shadows, I feel like it's a
Is it possible that they brought a light source to the moon so that way they could see what they were doing on the fucking moon?
Yeah.
There you
It
go.
is, but then also then that little thing covers how the camera that they supposedly shot it on has no radiation protection.
Yeah.
The film should have been all fucked up. Like, how is that happening?
I mean, according to who, though?
According to 2 minutes.
These guys are also the ones that will, like, give you a fucking 18.5-minute long video about, like, the fucking Earth being flat. And it's like, you know how I know the Earth isn't flat? Because when I'm on the fucking beach on the Atlantic with a high-powered fucking telescope, I'm not waving to a motherfucker in Portugal. That's how I know the Earth isn't flat. Like, just fucking leave me be. Here's the thing with the NASA thing, all right? And I'll just give it to you straight. I think we went to the moon. If we didn't, like, if NASA comes out tomorrow and says, hey, guys, you know what? We actually faked the moon landing as a way of kind of getting one up on the Russians at that point, are bad for being assholes like that, but hey, it kind of worked. I wouldn't even get the day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Like,
that would be the spin that they would use, though.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't even get the day out of work.
Beat the Russians.
Yeah, which is fine. I get it. But like, I just think we probably went there, and even if we didn't, I don't give a shit. Like, who fucking cares?
I don't know. I just think that's the tip of the iceberg, bro.
Yeah, but that's just it. We're not even good at hiding the shit that we actually do that's fucking terrible.
But all of this is terrible, bro. They're like showing the fucking. They're showing the wires. They're showing like.
Yeah, but like I'm talking like fucking we firebombed Tokyo, killed 100,000 people, and displaced millions. Like, that's just readily available. You can look that up on the internet. We firebombed the city of Dresden. Fucking 80,000 people. Readily available. Look it up on the internet. We fucking bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing millions. Like, we do shit that's terrible. And we don't even hide it. So why would we hide this? Like, why? They can literally get away with anything, shove it right in your face and be like, hi, you fucking idiots. This is what we're doing.
That is what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. Between the moon landing, between all the 9/11 shit, between there's even like rumors that they knew Pearl Harbor was going to happen, right? And they're like, oh, that's fine. That will give us a reason to get into the war. Same thing with Vietnam, right? There's something with a submarine, some fucking fake story. That's why we got into that, because supposedly they took a sub out. Yeah, really, it was some other shit. Like,
yeah, I don't actually...
the Donald Trump shooting, like all of this shit is just like the worst Hollywood special effects collaborative effort that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is that all the other facets of all of the other shit that we've done, they don't even try to hide it. They're just like, or when they get caught, they're just like, yeah, fuck you, we did that. Like Iran-Contra, same thing. Fucking supplying arms to fucking Iran to fund the fucking Nicaraguan rebels. Well, they got busted on it, and it was like, it's a footnote in Ronald Reagan's presidency. Yeah. No one gives a shit. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I just don't buy that, like, they would go through this shit and then also, like, stick to their guns so much. Also, like, it's this shit, this footage is, like, 60 years old. I mean, what they could have done has been like, hey, you know what? We couldn't radioactive proof our cameras, so there's no footage, guys. Sorry. But, hey, you saw us take off. We clearly went there, right? Like, that's all they had to do. Like,
I guess.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like... But they actually did take footage and shit like that. Shit that over the years, like, could have been debunked and, easily. Like, you watch fucking Independence Day right now, dude. And that movie is fucking 25 years old. And you're like, yo, this shit looks ridiculous, Back then, it's like
fake?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, it's fucking terrible. I watched it with the kids, actually, a couple months ago. But yeah, it's fucking awful. But I'm just saying, like, you mean to tell me that footage they took 60 fucking years ago will still look at least, like, passable? Like, it looks fine to me. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, word, they're probably on the moon, We couldn't do that fucking 25 years ago, I don't know. I think we went to the moon. That said, though, even if we didn't, who fucking cares? That's my stance on the whole moon shit.
My whole stance on it is, though, I continue into the conspiracy wormhole of there is like this breakaway population. They're just kind of mining us as cattle to like tax us to death to use it to like make their spaceships better and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if we didn't go to the moon, then my whole thing of like we've been going there for 60 years. Like, you think we just stopped? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, at a certain
to
point,
me, like, have we mastered the ability to go to space or not? Or do we just have a bunch of near orbit satellites and space stations, and we really can't get the fuck out of the gravitational field of this planet?
Yeah,
that's wild. That's wild to me. That's a crazy turning point in what we've been told versus what the truth really could be.
Yeah, but I just don't know. I wouldn't understand what the logic would be of, like, if they wanted to lie to us, they could lie to us, right? Like, why would you go this far and then lie to us if you could have just lied to us right here? Like, guess what? Hey, guys, you know what the moon is? Oh, it's just a small rock that's floating around out there. Nobody's ever been to it. Don't even worry about it. That's all they have to say. That's it.
That's what they say.
Then it's over.
That's what they say with Antarctica,
well,
bro.
exactly. So we can't. You can't have it both ways. Why are they then just being like, don't worry about that, and then being like global conspiracy, and then they're telling you like almost everything about something, and it's still global conspiracy. It's like, who gives a shit? You know?
I don't know, man. I don't think we got the whole story.
Of course, we don't have the whole story, but like we have most of it, I think. Also, the space shit is kind of fucking wild too. Like, we definitely went to space, and at the very least, we went to space. Whatever you want to do, the fucking moon landing and shit. But do you know the story behind the guys who were the guys before Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and all them? Like the guys who landed on the moon. Before they landed on the moon, whatever, supposedly, they had to figure out, because they couldn't, like, propel the people back. You know, like going to the moon was not the problem. The problem was then bringing them back. So the guys who were before Neil Armstrong, I think his name was like Borman or something like that, but he was like a fucking whatever, a high-ranking military guy or whatever in NASA. And they basically were just like, we're gonna fucking fire your ass towards the moon, and we're pretty sure, like, if you hit it the right way, it'll slingshot you around and send you back. We're pretty sure. Like, yeah, probably. And the guy's like, well, what do you mean? Like, what does this mean? Like, like 50-50. It's like, well, what's the other 50? Like, oh, well, if we launch you, maybe you'll just, like, keep going and just, like, drift into space endlessly.
Yeah.
And those dudes got in the shuttle and were just like, word, let's give it a shot. And that's, like, how we got, like, because we were, like, really far behind the Russians, because the Russians launched a dude into space.
Yeah.
So we were, like, way behind. But in the matter of, like, 9 months, NASA was just like, we're going to figure out how to fucking send somebody to the moon. Like, maybe not land, but we'll figure out how to get somebody there and then bring them back. And that's basically what that mission was. I think it was like Apollo, whatever the fuck it was, Apollo 10 or Apollo 9. I don't know, whatever the fuck. I'm not good with that.
That guy was Tony Hawk's grandfather.
Dude, those guys are straight fucking ballers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fuck it. Maybe we'll die, maybe we won't. It was like, literally, it was 50-50. It was like, who knows? Maybe you'll come back. It was fucking wild.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just have
It's a book called Rocket Men, which is a really good book, actually.
I just have trouble believing that we were doing all this shit, like, with the technology that we had, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think that makes it even more impressive. Like, they were literally just like, I don't know, man, let's light a bunch of fucking jet fuel on fire and see what happens,
I don't know, man.
Let's send this fucking aluminum ball into space,
I feel like another thing that's compelling about that thing that I sent you is the legs of the lander.
Yeah.
They don't have, supposedly they're on the moon and they just, like, underwent this process of, like, those thrusters, like, slowly setting them down.
Yeah.
And they're, like, pristine. There's no dirt on them. There's nothing. Like, it looks like it was just placed down there. There's nothing on the legs. There's no fucking dirt. There's no burn marks. There's nothing. I'll tell you, that's like a Kubrick set, bro. Like,
yeah, but do you burn, can you burn aluminum?
Yeah.
Like, when you burn aluminum foil, does it, like,
it's
really
not
burn?
aluminum foil. It's like the legs, legs.
But that's like what it's made of, isn't it?
But there's what?
Aluminum, isn't it? That was like a heat resistant thing, I think.
It better be made of something fucking better than aluminum, bro. So now we just fucking sent this tin can through fucking space.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like I said, even if it's not true, it's a cool story. Good for you. Well done. Like, we beat the Russians.
I'm gonna take a deeper dive into this because
don't go too deep.
Nah, I'm going because this also leads into, like, this video that I saw that I haven't watched all the way, but it's like this dude. It's like all these clips that this guy put together of, like, people like pilots being candid about shit.
Yeah,
like a dude just getting off a plane. He's kind of got, like, his camera or his phone like recording, and I don't know if the pilot knows that the guy's got the phone recording or not, and he'll be like, "Did you see any curvature when you were up there?" And like just kind of like ask these questions that like imply flat Earth.
Yeah.
And like obviously it's a skewed thing. It's just a mix of the pilot saying, "No, I didn't see anything." You know what I mean? But there's a lot of what seems to be candid moments of the pilots being like, we don't know what's really up with this shit.
Yeah, I don't want to buy that.
I'm interested about it, man. There's also a thing about I think we talked about this before. Like if you look at like the flight paths on a map, like especially to do with like emergency landings of planes, like why would the emergency landing for this route be like all the way up here? And I don't know how to explain it intricately enough.
Yeah, well, it's because it's not all about distance. It's also about like jet streams and shit like that. It's why when you're flying out to the West Coast, it takes you 5 hours and 45 minutes, but then like flying back could take you like 6 hours and 10.
Yeah, but you're just riding the jet stream like you're saying at that point. This has I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so if it's calculating like what's not the quickest way, but the quickest way, not the furthest way. So the quickest way might still be further away, but if you hit the jet stream and are able to like get there faster, you know what I mean?
This isn't like you're not trying to. You're having an emergency landing at like an alternate place, not like at your original destination.
Right. Well, you still figure out what the jet stream's doing, though.
I don't know. The jet stream only goes one way, so how are you going to manipulate it? I'll have to have you watch it for next time. I'm telling you, like the way that the dude lays it out, you're like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense why he shows you like why flight patterns go a certain way to line up with his flat Earth theory.
Yeah,
or not necessarily flat. I feel like the flat Earth theory is for like beginners, and then like flat Earth 102 is that humans only have access to like this one piece of the Earth, and that's why you know what I mean. Like, you only have access to like the part that your palm can touch on a basketball.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying. The rest of it is like inhabited by whatever.
Yeah.
You haven't gone down the conspiracy hole enough, bro.
I just don't care to.
You haven't had enough tussing.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah, I just prefer to live my life and not really give a shit.
I told my wife about your boarding school story about the
Robitussin?
Yeah. about getting the chemicals from it, and she was like flabbergasted.
In what regard?
Just like
just why anyone would just eat something off of the internet?
Yes. I don't know. Like my wife is just from a white picket fence family, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she must say you probably regaled her with stories like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was 16, 17 years old. Like, if you gave me anything, I was going to eat it, you know? Like,
yeah, I feel like as I told the story more, she just was like in disbelief.
Yeah.
And then like
it was the dawn of the internet at that point. So I mean that was like 2000. Yeah, it might have been 2000 actually.
She was also in disbelief that you went to boarding school. She was like, Brennan went to boarding school?
I didn't have any money, but yeah, I went to boarding school.
Yeah.
I fucking I rubbed elbows with the creme de la creme of society here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about that. Who was like the person that had the heir to the fortune or something?
Well, there was a bunch of them, but I was like good friends with his first name was Hilton, but he was like his mother's father was Conrad Hilton or whatever. So he was basically cousins with Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton went to my school for like 1 month and got thrown out.
I feel like she's been up to something lately.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she has like kids now and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I keep seeing her like popping up on like booze ads. So I don't know if she's like a brand ambassador for like Absolute or some shit like that.
She got into like cryptocurrency too. She was one of those people. So.
She helped fucking steal money from Tom Brady.
Pretty much. Well, Tom Brady has blood on his hands and all that too.
Bro, the Nikki Glazer, you know who that is?
Yeah.
She like, I forget what, she went on something. Maybe it was Howard Stern or some. I don't think it was Howard. I think she did it on Howard, but the thing that I saw, she was on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
And she was like saying the stuff that got cut from the roast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the bonus clips. Like, she was tearing them up.
She was pretty funny on that.
I still haven't watched the roast.
Oh, really?
Nah.
It was all right. It had its moments. Anybody who wasn't a comedian was kind of just like watching Bill, it was kind of just like, what are you doing here, Bill? You know?
Yeah. Like to me, I would I would only probably want to see what Rob Gronkowski had to say.
Yeah. Actually, you know who's the best?
him.
The best was the fucking dude Tony Hinchcliffe or whatever. He was fucking hilarious.
Bro, he has a YouTube show that like a lot
the Kill Tony shit.
A lot of funny comedians are coming out of that show. But I don't know, man. I don't understand why Tom Brady did the roast
for money and popularity.
Yeah, but I just if you told me that you were doing that, I would be like, why?
Well,
he
spent his entire career being like underground and being like sheltered by the Patriot way, and now he wants to get out and actually be a public figure. Of course he does. He signed a $350 million Fox deal.
You know what I feel? What his play was?
What
is he knew everybody was going to dig up the Giselle being a shade bag, and talk about that. Like to me, that's like the only reason why somebody that calculating, that measured, that in control of everything for his whole life would sign up to have a bunch of people fucking rag on him, was to like, he knew that they were going to say the stuff that he didn't want to say publicly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a masterclass in like, hey, like, I don't want to be the guy to say that I didn't ruin my marriage.
Yeah.
But all these comedians will do it for me.
Right.
And all I have to do is just kind of chuckle when they make fun of my plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take that.
That plastic surgery is looking wild.
You're gonna all of you are gonna drive a bus over my ex-wife.
Yeah,
and you're just gonna make fun of me for a little bit. I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll take that.
I doubt that was the motivation. I think honestly, I think probably what it was is to just give that fucking surgically fucking enhanced head like a round, like that way it's not jarringly weird. Like when he's on Fox next fucking football season.
You needed like a bridge.
Everyone's prepared for it.
Like
now,
I've seen it. I've seen this
exactly. I don't know. That was a fucking he looks weird now.
I wonder if him and Romo will ever work together.
Romo's what? Is Romo CBS, right?
I don't know. I don't know all the differences.
I think he's CBS.
Dude, that's the thing. That's fucking killing me, bro, over the last how long have I worked at the like at least 2 years now that I've worked at the tavern? No. I think it is two Super Bowls. I started on a Super Bowl. I've worked on a so
1.5 basically.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say though is that like it's killing. Like I used to maintain Sundays off.
Yeah.
Just for football, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I haven't had that in like 2 years now, and it's like I can't even tell you the announcers for the broadcast stations anymore. Like that's sad.
Well. You got Romo. You know what it is I don't really like if you're good, I don't really notice you. You know what I mean? Like I only really notice the bad ones.
I enjoy. Do you like Romo?
I do. I do like Romo. Yeah.
I
like
think that'd
Romo.
Be crazy if Romo and Brady could fucking both tell you like, "Yo, watch out for this," and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Well, have you seen Greg Olson? Greg Olson's good too.
Yeah.
I think he was on what was that like Sunday night broadcast last year? Something. I can't remember.
You remember the scandal about him?
No. Oh, is it the rap video? Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, he's the only white guy on the Miami Hurricanes.
But he has some funny. I think he has some funny rap name.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like some like I don't know. Obviously, the word white is probably in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I'm sure Frank Gore put him up to it. That was a fucking stacked Hurricanes team.
Yeah. I was gonna say
it was Greg Olson, was fucking Andre Johnson, Frank Gore was on those teams. Right? Who else was on that fucking team? I'm even forgetting like all of the defensive players.
Yeah, the running back stable was crazy. Willis McGahee, Frank Gore. There's another guy.
Yeah, there was. I can't remember who the fuck it is.
Shockey.
Yeah, So Shockey was pre Greg Olson, right? Yeah, but then like that was still like in that same era, kind of.
Santana Moss.
Yeah. Who else was on that fucking team? Why am I can't remember any of the
Jonathan Vilma, Vince Wilfork.
I'm even forgetting like another big
safety.
I was going to say, isn't that Ed Reed?
Yeah. And the kid that died, right? Who's the guy that got killed by like the home of Sean Taylor?
Yeah, Sean Taylor, was he on this?
Like, dude, if they have like a Legends mode in that new college football game
Hurricanes
that just came
are
out,
fucking nasty.
And you can like play like old school things, that'd be fucking awesome. I feel like we're still missing a few solid,
Michael Irvin
players on that team.
If you want to go back far enough into like the 80s now.
Oh, like if you kind of had like a
Yeah, you get to like cherry pick from every
from everybody
well, yeah,
that's
I
ever
mean,
done it.
I would
that'd be
probably
sweet.
say that's like I would put the Hurricanes team, like the all-time Hurricanes team, up against anybody.
Yeah.
Alabama would be tough to beat, though. You know what, though? Alabama, though, like, I can't think of a single good Alabama quarterback. Am I just totally fucking wrong in that?
Joe Namath. That's the only one that I can think of.
Fuck. I mean, there have been, like,
that's
decent ones, but there haven't been, like,
I think
great.
that's what all these schools would be lacking. Like, who's the best?
Well, actually, I was going to say, now that I think about it, who the fuck would even be, like, would be the Hurricanes be, like, fucking, oh, god damn it. What was his fucking name? Who's the national championship kid?
Yeah, I can't even come
He ended up being, like, he's like the OC of somebody now. I think he's the OC of the Bills. The fuck is his name? Starts with a D. Dorsey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that would have to. Yeah, that's a pretty pathetic starting quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. You know who would probably be actually? Probably Georgia. She got my boy Matt Stafford starting at quarterback.
Yeah. Nah. You know who's probably fucking fire, bro? Is like just having Cam Newton in that game.
Oh yeah.
Like that when
Yeah,
you know what's a crazy stat about Cam? Like that Auburn team that he took to a national championship, they won the title, right?
I don't
think that.
know.
I'm pretty sure he
Did they
won the title.
Well, he won the Heisman. I knew that.
And there's not another first round draft pick on that team.
Oh, well, yeah, shit. I can believe
none
that.
of the O linemen, none
Dude,
of the fucking
Cam
receivers,
Newton,
none of the running backs, none of the defensive players go in the first round.
Cam Newton, I feel like, doesn't get the respect he deserves. Is like one of the all-time like collegiate quarterbacks. Like that year he had was fucking insane.
Yo, what about if we are talking all-time stuff though, right? And you get to count Cam on the Gators, because you can run some kind of crazy,
like Tim Tebow,
Tim Tebow, Cam Newton Wildcat offense. With Aaron Hernandez going across the middle, bro.
Killing people, allegedly.
Dude, I don't know if I sent it to you or not, and it's a travesty if I didn't. You know that O.J. Simpson was considered to play the role of the Terminator?
Yeah. Yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
So I watched it.
And he didn't get it. Do you know why he didn't get it?
Because they couldn't picture him.
Because he was too nice. Because they were like, he's too nice of a guy. People like him too much.
The clip that I saw is like a 60-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger reflecting on it, and he's just laughing. He goes, yeah, apparently they couldn't view OJ as a killing machine. And he goes, oh, and he just laughs. Dude, it's the funniest fucking shit. Because obviously, like, OJ's probably in jail at this point when Arnold is telling the story.
And Arnold is like the fucking governor of California.
Yo, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the man, bro. I feel like he's like my favorite childhood guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever did you ever hear the story about the hijinks in Predator?
About him tricking Jesse Ventura? Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah.
Like young Arnold, like being cocky and funny. Like I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about how he puts like the wardrobe person up to say that Ventura had
he has bigger biceps. Yeah.
And he's like, well, let's go to the gym.
Yeah.
And he's like, then Arnold like reveals it at the end. He's like, then I knew my prank had worked.
Yeah.
And
they bet like a bottle of champagne or some shit. Yeah. Like a fucking $3,000 bottle of champagne.
Or what about like there's some interview with like they're telling Arnold Schwarzenegger not to smoke cigars, and he's like, I smoke stogies anywhere I like. He's like, regular men, they let their wives tell them to put them out. I smoke in my house.
Do you know the dude Bill Hader? He's like a SNL dude. He does like voices and shit.
Yeah.
He has a story because he was like a like an intern or like a key grip or whatever the fuck they call it, like on an Arnold movie. It was like Collateral Damage. It's like one of those like mid-90s movies.
I know that movie. Yeah.
So he's like kind of like Arnold's like go-to guy or whatever, and Arnold is like looking for his like makeup dude, and he's like, where is Stephen Bill? And Bill Hader's like, I don't know, but I'll go find him. He's like, go find him. Show me your leadership capabilities. It's like, I imagine like Arnold Schwarzenegger must have been a fucking riot, like all the time.
Dude, like, imagine being on the set with him and fucking Danny DeVito on Twins back in the day. Yeah. Like, he says something. There's a clip about him talking about how they switched out. There's like a scene in that movie where I think Arnold loses his virginity, right? Like they pick up like a set of sisters and fuck them, and they're smoking cigarettes, and like Arnold's is like, fuck the Danny DeVito. He put a joint in there instead, so Arnold's like all fucking stoned by mistake, like not knowing shit. Like, I don't know. There's stuff too of him like talking about how how working out is like so important to him.
Yeah.
And, like you listen to him talking, you're like, bro, I'm about to run through a brick wall. Like
Yeah.
his shit is like he's like inspiring still as an old man.
Yeah. Well, he's still in better shape as a fucking 73-year-old man than I could ever hope to be. So
You know, he has like there's like an interesting take on like nature versus nurture between like his kids. Like when he got a divorce, like one of his kids went and lived with his ex-wife and the other one lived with him.
yeah.
And like the one that lived with him is like a mini Arnold and the other kid is like a fucking fat fucking
It's
goth.
like it's the literal twin scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I think the kid's big. Like he's
yeah.
just a big
Does he call the
fatty.
other kid DeVito?
Maybe. I don't know. I want to see. You ever see Danny DeVito talk about the April Fool's Day prank that the rest of the cast of Always Sunny in
Yes.
Philadelphia
Yeah.
played on him?
Yeah.
Where he just goes to jail and keeps getting banged by big black dudes.
Oh. Well, fucking. Did you ever see you know Arnold has like the illegitimate kid, right? With that like fucking
Oh
just
yeah,
absolute.
I remember the scandal.
Yeah, that absolute fucking tank of a woman. That woman looked like she could fucking make a man out of you. But their kid, like the other Arnold kid or whatever, he's fucking huge and like jacked, and he looks just like Arnold. I don't even know how the fuck they got away with it for so long. Like you see that dude in public, and you're like, "You're Arnold Schwarzenegger's son." It's like, "No, I'm not." It's like, "No, trust me, you are." You know, dude looks exactly like him. And he was like, she was the fucking maid, bringing that kid around like birthday parties and shit, and the other kids being like, "Hey, that looks a lot like you, Arnold."
That's
you know?
bold.
Yeah, it's a bold maneuver.
Who is his wife? Maria Shriver?
Shriver, yeah.
What
yeah.
did she ever do?
Well, no, she was what is the Shriver family?
She had to be cool enough to be dating Arnold in the first place.
That's like, is that Liv Shriver's sister? That whole family
I don't
is.
know who Liv Shriver is.
Well, he's the what the fuck would you know him from? You ever seen the movie Goon? No. Have you ever seen?
Does that have Stifler in it?
It does.
I'd
It's
like
a
to
fucking
see
awesome
it.
movie. Yeah. But he plays like the other bad guy. Have you ever watched like the Wolverine movies or anything like that? Like, you know, the dude who played Sabretooth?
Nah, not off
No?
the top of my head.
I don't honestly even know what the hell this guy's actually famous for originally. He's the voice of Hard Knocks.
I do have a funny Wolverine story though.
What?
One time Ryan Hyde-Cabbage and I tried to plan a journey out and to see the Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
Maybe Logan.
Logan? It's a good movie.
And we went to the wrong movie theater. So it was like me and my wife and Jesse.
Did you end up just watching a gay porn?
No, we watched the movie at this.
Oh.
We just didn't watch it with Ryan. Like we're like, like, this isn't gonna work out. We don't have time to like drive to the other theater.
So you
know?
both saw it separately in different
I don't
movie
know
theaters?
I don't know if he stayed and watched it, or if it was just like my friend is a fucking idiot. And
Yeah.
I'm going home and being mad about it. But
Yeah.
so we fucking watched a movie. And in the car ride home, I thought this was like my first thought about like this would be like a funny fucking YouTube channel to start.
Yeah.
Is like dragging my wife to Marvel movies with no background story. So I asked Renee, I go, what do you think about that movie? She goes, so he just doesn't fucking die? Like there's nothing kills him? And then she goes, and then out of nowhere he's got fucking bone claws.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is fucking great. I go, what I forget what else she had to say, but I was like, this is an epic like review of this movie.
Yeah. Wives watching Marvel movies.
And then at the end, he dies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep. That's what happened.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm not like a huge Marvel movie fan or whatever, but that fucking Logan movie was like a legitimate, like, good movie. Like, just take comic books and shit out of it. Like, just watching it as like a one-off. Like, it was fucking like, I was like, damn, dude, this is like dealing with themes and fucking emotions and shit, you know? I'm not a huge Marvel guy though. Actually, I went into what was that? What was the one before Endgame? That Infinity War? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I went into that one not having seen a Marvel movie since like fucking Captain America Winter Soldier. Like that. So I missed like fucking 17 of them, you know? And Hyde-Cabbage was like, "Oh, let's go to this fucking Marvel movie." And I was just sitting there the whole time, like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but it's cool. Like, I like it. You know, it's like you don't have to, I guess, have any background on Marvel movies to really understand like what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is all right. But then I went back and watched all of the movies I missed, and I was like, I didn't have to watch any of those. Like, all of those movies for the most part suck.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was a huge like comic book kid growing up. Like I loved Marvel.
Yeah.
And I feel like those movies just like came like I had already lost my luster for life by the time they started coming out. You know what I mean? I was just like everybody got like so excited to go see them, and I was just like, I just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I was like,
which is
"Oh,
good.
This is
Yeah.
cool, like, but it never compelled. Like I think I saw the first Iron Man, and then I saw like the one with the raccoon.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Like that's a fucking long gap
Oh, it's a real long
between
gap. Yeah.
between the two. Like I didn't see when Ultron came around. I didn't see
Yeah.
Thanos do the snap. Like I don't know. I saw like Blade. That was the fucking shit
Oh yeah,
back
yeah.
in the
Wesley
day.
Snipes. Yeah.
I think I saw the first X-Men when that came out, like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Halle Berry as Storm.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe I saw the follow-up to that.
Oh, that
sec-
movie was
the
fucking
second
terrible.
one. I think
yeah.
there's like 3 of them, right? And they just
Yeah.
get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And then I saw Iron Man, and then Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I think I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when that finally came out. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen.
So, are
I
you
haven't
going to see
seen much.
Deadpool and Wolverine, or do you not even care?
Bro? I don't understand. The whole time when I was a kid, I fucking loved Deadpool.
Yeah.
And
And now everyone's on his shit.
It's not just that. It's that I never fucking. Maybe he was fucking gay in the comics, and I just didn't understand. But I just can't get behind it.
Is he gay?
I think he is. I think they play like he does like fucking gay shit sometimes, and I'm like, I just fucking can't. Like that's not my favorite superhero villain. Is like a fucking half gay guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
don't identify with that.
I don't know. I've seen both of the movies. I don't remember anything gay.
I feel like maybe that's because you stick to like just the movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like if you keep up with like what's going on in like the newer comics and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's like gay superheroes now and shit. And it's
Yeah.
like I get trying to be inclusive, but like I've been fucking this guy's been my straight superhero for fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's fucking sucking dick and I fucking don't want to root for him anymore.
Why does that matter?
It shouldn't, but it does. I'm just fucking being real with you.
That's fine.
'Cause it's like I feel like at the end of the day, it's all fantasy. You're like, look, this person is like portraying yourself in like a fantastical situation.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't suck dick, so now this dude no longer fits into my Venn diagram, and you're not in my fucking dreams anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm just I don't think they have the comics where he's actually sucking a dick, right? Like,
I don't know.
Is that a thing in Marvel now, or do you just like sucking dicks in comic books?
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
So I think you're
It's
safe.
just like implied that he's like a fucking homo to be more inclusive.
Well, I think
Like just come out with a new fucking homo.
yeah.
You know
Just
what
show
I mean?
me
Like,
pictures of him getting fucked.
No, I don't want to see that. I just want my guy back.
Yeah,
That's all
right.
I want. You know what I mean? Like, just come up with a new fucking person,
Yeah.
like Cumpool or something. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking give him that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like.
Oh, so I got that case. I already know what you're gonna say to this. So me and the wife went to we went to get a fucking massages and shit. We went to like some spa in Providence.
You went to the
Yeah.
water journey, bro.
We did. We went
I
to the
know
water
about
journey.
the water journey.
Do you
My
really?
wife- yeah, I've been there with my wife. She
Oh,
loves,
really?
She loves it's the Bodhi spa,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Did you
all
go
right.
in the plunge pool?
Oh hell yeah! You went to the plunge pool every other time.
I'm like
Yeah.
50-50 on working up the nut to get in there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You never went in there? The whole point of the fucking thing was to get like super hot and then go cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the last time I went, I don't know what the problem. Maybe I fucking ate too many gummy bears. Or I got too high. But normally I could like I haven't gotten myself into trouble with getting too high and freaking out.
Yeah.
In I don't know how long. So I'm gonna say that it wasn't this. I'm just throwing a half percentage point out there.
Yeah.
That I could have been too high.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was it. But I just started feeling like mad claustrophobic no matter where I was.
Oh, I could
In
definitely
the
see
Bodhi
that.
spot. Like,
yeah.
no, but that had never happened to me before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like having like a bad time. I was feeling like I was like fucking in jail or some shit.
Well, everything
And
is a fucking box inside of
Yeah.
there. So that steam room, like when you walk into that shit, like the first moment you're just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. You know, like it's like
yeah,
a
like
wall of steam.
My fight
Yeah.
or flight was
Yeah.
like taking over that day.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a good time the last time that I went. I didn't go in the plunge pool. I was just like ready to be fucking done with it.
Yeah.
I like hung out on like the wooden chairs in
Yeah.
the back. And
Actually,
just, like,
that was
took
pretty
a
dope.
nap.
Yeah, they brought you
Yeah.
like a cold, like a little towel, face towel.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, well, so going into it, fucking, well, all right, so we started off with massage, right? Now
at the Bodhi spot.
At the Bodhi spa. So you go massage, and then we went into the water journey or whatever. But starting off the massage, like there was a chick and a dude for a couple's massage, and I let my wife take the dude because I know she likes like strong hands too. But I'll be honest with you, I'm also like the kind of I go man when I get massage. Because like even this chick, I was like, give me all you got, like give me heavy, like get in there. And it was just kind of like the whole time I'm like, this isn't doing it for me. Would you get a massage from a man?
I have, because we've been put in that situation where we didn't like specify genders, and
you just showed up and you were like, oh no.
Yeah, like we didn't want to cancel it. Oh no, I think this was the first time that it happened. We didn't want, obviously our background in like the hospitality industry and shit. We know what, like, it's like, I didn't want this person to miss out on money because I'm being a fucking weirdo or whatever.
Yeah.
So she took the lady and I took the guy. And also, I think this guy fucking Deadpool is his favorite fucking superhero. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right. I'm already like not like displeased with like the pickle that I'm in, right? And this dude's like giving me a massage, like whatever, it's fine. And then he just started doing this goofy shit with my legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was like fucking moving, like he had me by the ankle and he was like just moving my leg around. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck is this? And then like the fucking gay paranoia started to seep in. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, so I did just lay there and take it. I didn't like make a scene or anything. But I was just, the whole time I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing with my legs?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have done it, but preferably I would not want to do it.
No, that's fair.
But
I'm proud of you. I would have thought for sure that you would have just been like, hard no, that shit is gay,
It was. But at the same time, here's where I try to like draw the line or like be the counterpoint to my own thing. Like, why is it okay for this broad to be touching on you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not sexual. They're just like, they're literally just rubbing your back. To me, it's like, I think it's gayer to hug a man, like just a dude. Like if we hugged right now for a second, that to me is gayer than like me rubbing your back. I know that's like weird, but like it's more intimate at that point. That's like a thing where it's like we're hugging right now. You know, like where it's rubbing a dude's back, it's like you're just punching into work, man. That's like his job.
You're getting paid for it. Yeah. I don't know. I just wouldn't be thrilled. But honestly, at this point though, like with what's been going on with like my back and shit, like if it was demonstrated that like the manpower was like the solution to it, I'd be like, all right, fine.
I mean,
just fucking fix it.
Yeah, I don't want to be like women can't do things, but like men have stronger hands on average than women, and
I think it depends on the point of the massage too.
Yeah,
like are you going in there for a like pleasurable experience, or are you going in there to like get your shit fixed?
Yeah, I mean, I go in there just being like, beat me up,
Like normally too, like I'm getting like I'm adding extra gay stuff into my massage. Like let me get some of those hot rocks.
Yeah.
Let me get some of this other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some fucking cucumbers on your eyes. Yeah.
No, I haven't got that. I'm surprised. My barber hooks it up for the shit. He'd be dude, like hot towel, cold towel, little all that. I'm surprised I don't get no cucumbers on my eyes.
Yeah. Hot towels are nice.
I enjoy the cold towel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
like
it's the duality. You want to have both.
But he takes the cold towel at the end and he like folds it up over my eyes like I'm fucking Jinx.
Yeah.
And then he like pushes it into my eyes. I don't know if it's because like I just been working like a madman and shit, but like that cold compress like into your eye sockets, I'm like. And now I'm just saying, I'm like, man, that's gay.
Yeah.
That's fucking gay.
Well, I mean,
did you
come?
To me. No. I've never come from gay stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess you got that going for you. The spa though was pretty sweet. I will say that. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was kind of cool.
How long did you like count in your head for how long you stayed in the cold plunge?
Oh no! I mean, like I literally just walked down, went under, and came up and got out. Like
That's
I wasn't.
It?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I've been under the water, like neck below in the water for like 3 minutes.
Oh, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Like when I do it, I go for it.
Yeah.
But like for whatever reason, I just was. Sometimes I'm not feeling it. Sometimes I'm like,
No. I was an in and out guy.
And when I don't do it, I see like that famous clip of Kobe when he's like looking at somebody behind him. He's like,
yeah. Well, like it does kind of feel like you're doing it wrong at that point. It's like, well, I'm here to get the whole fucking experience,
Well, I feel like I do that in anything in the Bodhi spot. It's like a test of me. I'm fucking extreme.
Yeah, look how hard I am.
No, I'll just be sitting
in the fucking eucalyptus aromatherapy.
I'm gonna sit in here for as long as I can fucking take it.
Yeah, the only time actually was in that fucking steam room where I was like, I had to look at the wife and be like, "You win. I got to get the fuck out of here." Every other facet, like I was willing to outlast her. Yeah.
Renee was like or maybe there's like a warning somewhere, like in the eucalyptus room or something, like warning, like you might experience like discharge or something, like if you're congested or something, like it's supposed to work like all the mucus out of your stuff. And I was like, bro, I could fucking probably set a record if this shit gets all the plaque out of the inside of my lungs. Yeah. But that never happened to me.
Some of the people you see in there, though, are fucking weird. Like, how have your cruise been? Like, because you have, like, the pocket of people you're with.
Yeah.
Like, we had 2 lone bones. Like, have you ever had that? Like, to me, it's like a couples thing. Like, it's
what did you just say? A lone bone?
A lone bone. Fucking lone bones. Fucking lone wolves. You know, like weirdos who are by themselves.
Oh, my wife goes by herself.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
She's weird. She's into the.
There was like one woman who was like there with like a book. I'm like, how are you reading a book in here? And then like there was another dude who literally he was just like going raw dog, where he would just like sit inside of the like pool or whatever, and then just like stare at people. It's like, this guy is off-putting. Like, I don't like any of the energy this guy's bringing to this fucking experience.
I mean, I do feel like you're not gonna meet very many fucking cool people in there.
Yeah,
like
there was one woman though who came in and even my wife said it, because my wife was the one that pointed her out. She was like, she's got the fucking nicest ass I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, she kind of does. Yeah, it's like wild.
Oh, I don't know, man. I never seen nothing but some fucking fatties.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, there was one chick. Actually, there was a couple good-looking girls in there, but there was one where I was just like, dude, that ass is fucking insane. Like, and she was fucking like rocked a thong in there. It was just like butt cheeks, just for days.
Like, why are you doing this to me, lady? What the fuck?
I was gonna say, I'm here with my wife.
Yeah.
Well, then also, I don't even know what to say at that point, because my wife looks to me and she's like, she has a nice fucking ass. And like, what am I supposed to say to that? Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I'm gay. No.
No, I can't. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see.
Actually, that's what I should have said. Like, it's foggy in here. I don't know. Very steamy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every time I go, like, it's a very dangerous line. And this is the problem that I have with, like, the line in the sand that my mom and my brother have drawn with their whole fucking vegan lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like any place that like is a vegan place also doubles down as like a fucking blue hair fucking sanctuary. And it's like, I don't want to hang out with you fucking gender fluid fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why does this like vegan, like victim fucking mentality bullshit go hand in hand? And I can't even stand to do the people watching. Like 5 minutes in a vegan bakery just makes me want to fucking like pull a machine gun out on a nightclub in Orlando.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
like
that's too far.
Solid dark humor.
That's too far. That's
You're like, I'm gonna cut that in the editing process.
I'll keep it in, but I just want the record. I want the record to show
it out, so people have to ask me what I said. But obviously, I'm being extreme with this. I love everybody, but I don't understand. I feel that way when I go to the Bodhi spot. I'm like, there's 90% of this population is like bordering on a fucking highlighter hair color.
Yeah,
and I just don't. If I had to choose, or I get to choose, I don't want to fucking be hanging out with you fucking goofballs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I just got like a good pocket of people, but
I think you did.
All my dudes were like, they were like cool looking Spanish dudes with like white women. That's all we had. And then the 2 lone bones.
Like, I've never seen one other person in there besides my wife that I've been like, oh, what's up?
Yeah. Now there's a couple people there.
Like, don't even hang out with you. Fucking look at me. Don't ask me where I work, and don't show up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so we were killing time though, going on our way into the Bodhi spa. We had a whole morning or whatever. Went to the Roadie Hen. Have you ever gone there?
No.
It's like a breakfast place in Pawtucket. Yeah, it's good. It was all right. But yeah, so we went there, and then after that though, we were like trying to kill time, and somebody, a regular at my bar actually, had fucking talked to me about Mother Earth in Pawtucket, the dispensary. They were telling me like all this shit and all this fucking, it's like marble and water features and shit. And I was like, I got to see how this all shakes out, because I've never been to a dispensary. I haven't smoked pot in fucking, almost 20 years at this point. So I was like, I got to see what this whole fucking shit's about. We go in there, dude. It's fucking nice in there, man. And it's like everybody is like super friendly and helpful. And we went up to the fucking counter and we were like, they like guided us all through it. And we bought like pot and went home and smoked it. It was fucking awesome. Made me remember though, like, what it means to just get high as hell and just like eat a bunch of shit. It was about what I remembered it being.
Did you get the giggles?
A little bit, yeah.
A little?
Yeah. Well, so we went at it though, like not hard, because I know like how far fucking pot has come. Like back when I was smoking pot, it was brick weed. It was like you got like good weed every now and again, but you could smoke, you could fucking smoke an ounce of weed,
yeah,
and just like fucking like be straight laced, like buttoned up. Now it's like, dude, you smoke like, I took like 3 hits and I was like fucking high, but I was I was on the cusp. But I didn't want to I wasn't smoking a whole fucking joint to my head, like right off the rip to be like.
What did you smoke?
Yeah.
You got a pre-roll?
Yeah, we got a pre-roll. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where I was like, I'm going at it light here. I'm going to test the waters. I didn't want to end up fucking naked on my rooftop screaming at the moon.
I mean, I've been waiting for the moment to put a coffee table here with the bong.
Yeah.
And we just start fucking toking in the middle.
Well, I mean, I baby steps here,
You start coming home to the wife after the podcast, be like, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
We talking about the funniest stuff.
No, we just we got fucking high as hell and watched the Olympics. That was
how much did you spend? Did you just buy one pre-rolled joint?
No, we bought like a few, and then she also bought like some gummies and shit.
How much did they charge you for this joint?
Oh, it was like $12. Yeah, I mean it's a racket, You know what though? I will say, when I opened the fucking thing up, I was expecting to see like a pinner, kind of like, they're just gonna fuck me here. It was like a decent sized little spliff they got.
Yeah, but what they're giving you is like they're not giving you like the top of the plant.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They're giving you like all of the shit that wouldn't. They're pre-rolling it for a reason, because it wouldn't sell in bud form.
Yeah.
In flower form. Man. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
I don't know, bro. I fucking hate a dispensary.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. It's everything that unlike you, I've been smoking the whole time that you haven't been. And it's like, I told people, not that I'm some legal fucking expert, but it's like, all of this legalization is not what you want. You want to hold out for decriminalization.
Yeah.
Like, find me some other plant besides opium that you just can't grow freely on your property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, instead, the government has now found a way to make money off of it, regulate it, and what's coming out next? DUIs for weed. You know what I mean? Like, they're just fine. Like, it's fucking trash, the whole situation that they did with it. Now you got big corporations selling you fucking underbuds in pre-rolls. It's garbage.
Yeah.
It's fucking garbage. I hate it. Like, support your fucking local weed man. Buy your fucking buds from people that are fucking growing it. Like, that's like farm to table.
Yeah.
Not all this fucking like I don't know, designer, mass produced, mass grown fucking buds. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why?
I'll buy weed from you. Damn, you don't have to fucking yell at me.
Nah, that's not. But me, I'm just saying, like, from like, I feel like most stoners are like on this like anti-government.
Yeah.
They didn't land on the moon, bro, like kind of thing. And now you're just like, oh, I'll fucking buy weed from the government, man. Like, it doesn't fucking make any sense.
Yeah.
It gets me fired up.
Well, I mean, I think, a part of it is probably just, obviously with the rise of like other fucking cannabinoids and like synthetic shit, it's like kind of like they at least can trust that if it's federally regulated, like, what's in it.
And I mean, I'm in a unique situation too, where I'm speaking from knowing a farmer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally going someplace and being like I'm seeing it
on the plant.
Yeah. Like, if I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he'll just give me the tour whenever I want to. So I understand that most people don't have that connection, but all I'm saying is, if you do, if you know somebody that's growing it, they're growing it the right way, they're good people, why would you buy it from a dispensary?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's convenience.
Yeah.
It's going to Walmart. You know what? There was a brief period of time in my life where I actually was kind of a used car dealer. I was working with my father-in-law, and he has like a small shop where it was just like him, a few cars on the lot. He would go shopping at auctions though for like people, and he'd be able to save you like a good amount of money. But it came to a point where like I was working with him and I was like, there's no future in this for me because this model nobody wants anymore. Nobody wants to save $1,500 or $2,000 to buy a car from you or to or to go to an auction or something and have you buy them a car. Nobody wants to do that because everybody wants to show up, pick out what they want, and drive home with it that day with no bullshit. You know, it's the Walmart version of everything.
I agree, man. I mean, even me rental car shopping today.
Yeah.
Like the lady's like, I'll just hold the reservation for you. It won't cost you anything. Just let me you know what I mean? It'll be a $1.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be bothered with this. I'll call you back if I need you. See you later. Bye.
Right. So, I mean, the Mother Earth dispensary.
They have a drive-through, right?
Yeah. Oh, they have drive-through. Yeah. And but in addition to that, it's like you show up, dude, and it's like their hours are posted. No matter what, they're going to be open. You walk in the door. You have a whole fucking assortment of shit that you just, I want that. Put it in a fucking bag. I'm out of here. It's an errand. People like that. You know, nobody wants to. Remember when I mean, my experience with buying fucking weed back in the day was I either had to go to the hood or I had to like go to like some dudes. I'm like fucking.
You're like caravans.
Exactly. I had to go to like, I was 17 having to hang out with like some 26-year-old weirdo. For an entire afternoon until I can muster up the courage to be like, hey man, so like we need to like make this transaction. I got other shit to do, you'd end up watching half of a Clockwork Orange with some fucking whack job because you're just like, I don't know, man. We just have to be polite so he'll sell us the fucking weed and we can get the fuck out of here, Like now it's like, good, man. I want to just go to the front of the counter and just give me my shit and I want to get the fuck out of here,
My experience with like those crazy situations like that, like with like fucking porno mags in high school.
Porno mag? Oh yeah.
I don't know if I told that story or not, but this kid Steve that I was friends with, he moved into my neighborhood, and he had somehow become friends with this guy Carrie, who lived in a duplex. I don't know if he lived on the other side of Steve's duplex or not, or just lived on the same street as him. It's one or the other. But so this kid Steve, we couldn't have been more than like 13 or 14 years old.
Can I just pause you for 1 second?
Yeah.
I think my dude's name was Steve too. Actually,
yeah.
I don't think about it. Maybe that's just a bad name. But all right, go on.
No, but Steve was my friend, Steve was my neighborhood friend, and then this guy Carrie was like this older dude.
Oh,
right?
Carrie was the older guy.
So we'd be hanging out at Carrie's house, right? And he was probably like 30. Him and his buddy, I forget his buddy's name, they would smoke weed in front of us. I forget if Steve smoked weed. I was still on my like straight edge phase of my life.
Yeah.
And there was one point where like one of these dudes found like a giant box of like old Playboys. I don't know if he found it like they were like his old magazines, or he found it at like a house clean out or something that he was doing. But he just gave them to us. And Steve was a black kid whose mom was like, he was like a first generation American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's like, if I get caught with these, like, my mom's going to kill me.
Cut my fucking hands off.
So I took the box back to my house. And then side story, that kind of allowed me to start this like, almost like library that I had going on with me and some of my friends would steal them.
Yep.
We'd fucking trade them and stuff, sell them off, da-da-da. So we had this little side hustle going on with those. But anyway, this was almost like the beginning point of this. Like, I got this big box of them. And then they were like, yo, if you ever want the new ones, like, we'll go buy them for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sweet. And this was like at the time where like one of the Spice Girls was in it. And I was like, yo, we have to fucking see this girl's titties. Like, it's the most important thing in the world.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing matters except Ginger Spice's fucking sweet, sweet set of titties.
Yeah.
And
she had some fucking tits on it too.
Yeah, we never ended up getting that magazine.
Oh, no.
And I think they're like old photos anyway. It's not like she did like a Playboy shoot. It's like Playboy
unearthed. They unearthed them?
Yeah. So it was fucking false advertising.
That's also just shitty too.
On Hugh's point. Yeah. For sure. So anyway, these guys, they start, and I think at this point they had turned us on. There was the regular edition of Playboy, and then there were like these other subsets that were more of like a hardcover kind of magazine, and like every page was like pictorial laden.
Okay.
Playboy lingerie. There were like other subsets of them, but it was way more pictures than like a normal Playboy had in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, long story short, I just think it's fucking sketchy that these like 30-year-old dudes were letting
buying
like
pornos for
14,
little boys.
Yeah, but what the fuck is up with that shit, dude?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But that's
like,
exactly what you had to do when you were fucking in the weed game in the fucking 90s.
Yes.
Like, it was just like, people nowadays don't understand the
Yeah.
struggle, you know? Actually,
They
you know
don't
what it is,
understand
too?
the struggle.
No, fucking for real, dude. Like, the amount of fucking just weirdos that you had to fucking deal with in order to get shit done. Like, I'm pretty sure I told the Orlando story on here, right? I think I've done that already. But like where I got taken to a white trash ghetto. Yeah,
that's
but
right.
Yeah, that was just
Pikeys.
like, that was fucking Tuesday, dude. That was like,
Yeah.
you always had to deal with some fucking whack job who was just like, and you're leaving it, and you always have the same conversation with your buddy where you're just getting in the car. You're like, I'm never fucking coming here again, dude. Don't fucking take me to this place. And then like 3 days later, you'd be out of fucking pot. You'd be like, fucking fine, let's go to fucking Daryl's house, you know? But yeah. But another thing, too, is like, not only do they not understand the struggle, I don't think people who smoke pot nowadays understand, like, why you smoked pot. We went, like, me and my wife went back with the pre-roll, right? And we fucking had, like, a couple puffs, and I got fucking high. So, I mean, to me, that means, like, all right, so, like, how much do you smoke in general, like, sitting?
Me?
Yeah. Like, all right, I'm going to get high. I don't have anything else to do today. How much are you going to smoke? Like, how many, like, bong rips do you take? Like upwards of like if I sat here with a blunt with you right now,
Yeah.
could me and you like comfortably pass a blunt between the two of us and like finish the whole blunt and just be like at the end of it be like, oh okay, I'm gonna go run some errands now.
I could, yeah, because when you this is a whole different question because you're like when you sit down and decide to get high.
Yeah,
I don't sit down and decide to get high. Wake up. And
Yeah.
I like go down into the man cave, which
And
is
you
like
just get
right
high?
there,
Yeah.
and I just rip a few bongs.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a cup of coffee, and then I'll rip a few more bongs,
Yeah.
and like I just try to stay high all day. But if I really decided that I wanted to get high,
Yeah.
I would go the edible route
yeah, okay,
because it take me too long to smoke enough flour to like be like zonked out.
yeah,
And
to be zooted. Yeah,
And also, if I sat here and smoked a blunt with you, by the time we got to the halfway point of the blunt, it'd be like too resonated for my lungs to take it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'd be like dying
Yeah.
with every hit. Like, I don't prefer to roll anything up. Like, let
Yeah.
me just clear a fat bong or let me eat like somewhere in the vicinity of 200 to 500 milligrams at once.
well, so that
Because
to
that
me,
will fuck me up.
Yeah.
If I eat 200 to 500 milligrams at once, I'll be like, yo.
what you're getting at though is actually the heart of my problem with smoking weed today, right? Is that nobody actually wants to smoke weed for the social aspect of it, which is what I used to enjoy doing. Like to me, like the fun of smoking weed was smoking weed with a bunch of people. Like you're at a party, you're passing around a joint, you're passing around a blunt. Maybe somebody has like a fucking wild gravity bong or some
Yeah.
shit. But the bottom line is it's like a process or it's a thing that like can take up like hours of your evening. If I was smoking weed for hours in a night, I would probably lose my fucking mind. Like the
Yeah.
people, the potency is just insane. It's too much. You've gone too far. You know, like to me,
Yeah,
it's
but it's just because you stopped driving cars when there were Model Ts,
Yeah.
and now you just
And now there's,
got
like,
into a
Lamborghinis?
Tesla.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know, but to me though, it's just like I don't know. It's a social thing to me. Like, and that's what the part of it I always enjoyed was that like you went to a party and you had a couple beers. There was just pot around. You fucking passed a couple joints and shit. It's like there's a community to it.
Yeah.
Whereas now I feel like a lot of people just like eat a bunch of gummies and then like sit at their house and like watch fucking cartoons. And it's like that's not really what it was about, was it? Was that always what it was about?
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the social aspect of it as well, but just I think also like the later on in my life, I feel like my detective skills started getting stronger.
Yeah.
And it's like every time I fucking share a roll up with somebody, I'm fucking sick in the next 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like sharing.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
true. COVID probably changed a lot of that. Yeah.
Not even just COVID, dude. Like I feel like I had that way before COVID.
Yeah.
Like 2010, I was like, man, I feel like I'm only trying to like actually be sharing with like my significant other.
Yeah.
Like I'll have if we go to some place where smoking is cool at a function, like fine, you fucking puff on your shit, I'll puff on my
mine.
shit. Like
Yeah.
maybe I'll rip a bong, like I'll rip somebody else's bong.
Yeah.
But that's even gross. Like you rip like a fat bong, you're like drooling down in the water and shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I might be guilty of this where I'm kind of like waxing poetic a bit because of like I'm so far removed from that era of my life that like I'm looking back now through like rose-colored glasses and being
Yeah.
like everything was awesome. But now that you mention it, like there might not be anything grosser than somebody handing you a fucking joint where it's just like straight like the paper is like like wet and disgusting and like
Yeah.
almost like peeling off in your fingers, and you're just like, well, I'm about to put
Yeah,
this in my
it's cool.
mouth.
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm just gonna kiss these guys that I've
Exactly.
been in the circle with.
Yep.
I remember one time we were smoking. I thought I found this cool like fucking glass screen.
Yep.
And fucking, I put it in the bowl piece and packed it with a bunch of weed, and it ended up being plastic. And I'm not even the one that ripped it. It was my girl at the time. She fucking rips this bar. She starts coughing. She's like, "What the fuck is in this?" I'm like, "It's just weed. We put a new screen in there." And she like empties it out. And there's like melted plastic at the bottom. I'm like, "Yo, you just fucking smoked plastic, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking sorry about that."
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Like-
that shit happens.
She's probably got cancer.
We all have cancer, so
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Well, did you ever do anything like chemical wise? Like, did you ever like huff Glade or like Office Duster or any of that shit?
Yo, I've never even done a whippet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I haven't done a whippet. I haven't done nitrous. I haven't done duster.
I used to love that shit.
I haven't smoked crack or meth.
Yeah.
I haven't shot up.
Well, yeah.
I
good
think
for you.
everything else is like fair game.
Yeah. I've never smoked crack, but I smoked coke. So I mean,
Yeah,
that
I've done
kind of
that,
yeah,
like,
like
at some-
Woo Banger. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody was just like, "Oh, that fucking bong had coke
Yeah,
on top." And
yeah.
I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
And then later on, like, you figure out the math.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh,
It's that kind, like you know,
whoops."
it's like kind of touching tips, so to speak.
Yeah. I remember smoking opium too. Like
Yeah.
I remember smoking joints that were like laced with opium. Like I remember some girl being like, "Oh, let's get opium in it."
Yeah. Well, there was like that period of time though when like I feel like everybody was thinking they were smoking opium, but they weren't really.
If
Like,
somebody just like fucking dissolved Nag Champa incense into your weed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like a fucking it was like a fucking ball of incense that they sold at like fucking stores. And they were like people would shave it off and be like, "It's Red Rock opium." It's like that's not opium. That's just a fucking ball of incense.
Yeah, what about, dude? That is one cool thing about like being younger and like you get into the drug scene and
Yeah.
like I remember when I met I had this neighbor and he got like fucking ecstasy, he got hash, he got like all these fucking things we had never seen before.
Yeah.
And it was just the coolest thing. Like I just remember
Was he in the military?
he was former military. Yeah, I think
I
he
feel
had
like that's your plug usually when it comes to that kind of
he
shit.
had like
in the
connections
90s.
connections
Yeah.
in Europe. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was getting the ecstasy brought in. And yeah. That he was actually the dude that gave us the ecstasy, the story where I fucking was pulling the,
Yeah.
the blanket away from my girl Katie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just still remember, like, I remember the time, actually, like, that whole era in my life, like, the ecstasy, the hash coming in. I remember I went home for Christmas, and the girl that I was dating at the time, she had a roommate that was Indian,
Yeah.
and her cousin lived in England. So his name was like Soul or something, and he was like a fucking cool dude.
Yeah.
But he came back. I only got to hang out with him for like 5 days, and then I went off on like winter break.
Yeah.
And in that time, whoever he knew, all these fucking hallucinogens came around. So I missed out on what's the shit that's like peyote, I
Yeah.
think. And he had like peyote in like snortable powder form.
Oh shit.
And I think it's the last drug that my boy with a pacemaker ever did. Like he's like, dude,
Did,
like
what,
I
did one
stopped-
thing have to do with the other?
No, he got the
Yeah.
pacemaker in high school.
Yeah.
And he would always he was always like drawing the line. Like he obviously never did any coke when it came
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Like never did, the pills and stuff. He was always worried about the pacemaker for whatever
of
reason.
fucking dying. Yeah.
I think he just thought with the hallucinogens, oh, this is fine. Like it doesn't affect like my heart rate or any of this shit,
Yeah. Oh,
and-
little did he know.
He's like, dude, he's like, as soon as I snorted it, he's like, I fucking threw up, and he was like, I was on the moon.
Yeah.
He's like, it was instant. He's like, there was no build up to
Yeah.
it. He's like, I literally was
Well,
like,
especially his fucking snortable form. That's like a fucking one-way
snorted it.
ticket.
He was like,
Yeah.
I was like, ugh, and he was like, it was at my house that they were doing it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was literally like, I threw up on the fucking ground, and he's like, that was.
And away we go.
Yeah. But I always regretted not being there for that. Like, I don't know what I did for Christmas that year, but it couldn't have been cooler than whatever trip my
Yeah.
friends went on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Drugs.
yeah, but I don't know, man. I've never seen hash like that again. Like in all my time being around weed and shit
Yeah.
like that, like this was just like a fucking
Block.
king size candy bar.
Yeah.
And
Just
like
gooey black
you
shit.
could just it wasn't even black, it was brown, like brown to
okay.
golden. Like it was
Yeah.
high grade, like, and like you just like break a chunk of it off and like mush your finger on it. And like
Yeah.
that was enough to like turn it back into like powdery keef.
Yeah.
Like I want to learn how to make that next time I grow.
Yeah, I mean,
turn
I'm
my
sure it's a
byproducts
chemical
into it.
process you could fucking figure out.
I don't think it even is chemical price. Like
Yeah.
a series of bags in cold water,
Oh,
like semi-permeable bags, and you just like the terpenes just like make their way through.
huh. Yeah. What were we talking about? Hash?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never smoked hash. Never even saw it.
All it is like did you ever have a grinder when you smoked weed
Yeah.
and like the keef would fall through to the bottom?
Yeah.
It's just like a more condensed version of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like more potent weed. It's more of a topper off to your bowl.
Okay.
Like if you just put a whole thing of hash in like in a bowl piece, it's not gonna light.
Well, yeah, I can imagine because it's probably too fucking like condensed.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
But yeah, I don't know. That was the coolest thing. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because I only had it once.
Yeah.
It was never available again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all drugs kind of went like cyclical. It was kind of like, somebody would just have them or they would be around for like an entire summer and then they would be just gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like that with like when Xanax hit the scene in
Yeah.
my crew too. Like we were like getting them for a fucking while, and then I don't know. Suddenly it just dried up, and we didn't get them anymore.
Yeah.
Those are dangerous, so
They're all dangerous.
bro. If you
Pills and powders.
if you take like a Xanny bar and you get fucking drunk on that shit, you are just like a belligerent
Oh yeah, you were.
Frankenstein.
It's
Like,
a
you're-
fucking yeah. You have to drink like literally 1/4 of the amount that you would
Yeah.
normally to just get completely blackout fucking
You're not
drunk.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the kids that used to get a bunch of them, he got like arrested in like the 2000s, just passed out at like a stoplight.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And he had like thousands of them on
Jesus.
him. Like I wish I remembered the kid's name, or you could probably find it like Googling like Tampa newspaper articles or
Yeah.
some shit. But I'm curious as to what the charges were on that kid because he probably got fucked.
Yeah. Probably still in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this thing on that Skid Row song about 18 in life to go.
Oh hell yeah,
He's
18
like-
in life.
It
Yeah.
said something that he's like he's currently 35 years into his sentence right now.
Jesus. Yeah, well, I mean that shit was probably like what 88. So yeah, it's about right.
That's brutal. That dude's a real piece of work.
Who, Sebastian?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is his name? Sebastian Bach?
Yeah, but his real name's probably like Francis
Yeah.
fucking something.
Dave.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he strikes me as a Dave.
yeah. Gerald Lawrence or whatever the fuck his name's probably. Yeah, good for him. Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo though. Anytime he's on fucking television, nobody has any fucking idea who we're even talking about. Like I feel like Skid Row is not exactly like it's not like Motley Crue where it's like Vince Neil. People like he's recognizable, but
I feel like
we're going pretty deep into the cock rock at this point.
They're both as
Yeah.
unrecognizable at this point.
Oh my god! Have you ever seen the Vince Neil pictures where he's like lined up against the fucking the abominable snowman?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so like mean but so like on point.
There's one where like somebody like makes it like look like they sent it to him on Twitter,
Yeah.
and like his response is like, "Stop sending this to me." Yeah.
yeah.
But there's another one where like he's singing live, and they like actually put up like the sound, like the
lyrics
of
yeah.
what he's actually singing for
Yeah.
Dr. Feelgood, and it's like not even close.
Yeah.
Like,
But I've seen the one where it's like Kickstart My Heart, where it's just like every word he's saying is just like this doesn't even sound like anything.
Yeah. yeah, and then I feel like if you look on the other side of that, I saw Guns N' Roses probably like it's got to be closer to 10 years ago than 5 years ago. But
Yeah.
on their like kind of like reunion tours, like the first time like Slash and Axl were like able to put their differences aside, and even Axl, like he did a good job singing, but he's still I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean-
He sounds like a Muppet almost.
Well, that's a very hard way of singing, even at the peak, and I'm
Yeah.
sure fucking 20 years of smoking crack and crystal meth probably didn't do him any favors.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
He's a wild boy. He does a lot of wardrobe changes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cock rock always kind of had that element of like, you're kind of a little bitch here,
I never really put Guns N' Roses into the fucking glam rock category.
I mean, they bridge the gap. They're kind of like the band that like, they took the Motley Crue, Poison, and all that shit, and kind of then like went to like Nirvana. Like,
yeah.
they were in that like 89 to 92 like window.
I just think
know?
they were like talented enough musicians in their own right to not have to play like as hard on the gimmick.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Well, I mean, all those bands anyway got their fucking shit from Van Halen, like all the cock rockers. Like Van Halen kind of like, started it all with like, the whole this is a party lifestyle,
Yeah.
rock and roll. Yeah, and I mean, and well, that's just it. I think Van Halen and Guns N' Roses, if you want to consider that like the beginning and then end of glam rock, and then in between you just had a bunch of people who probably weren't all that talented of musicians, kind of like riding the wave of all of that,
Yeah, like I can't think of like one of those bands that I'm still like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're like that you don't listen to, like, ironically. Like, I'll throw on a Crew song every now and again, but it is more or less like, this is horse shit, I'm putting this on,
Yeah.
Then it's usually like, Don't Go Away Mad. It's still a great song.
I don't know, like almost all of the music that I listened to, like as a kid, I've like come around to being like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're all set with?
Yeah, like it's literally I don't know, like I like classic rock more than anything. Like I think that whole like hair metal era kind of sucks, grunge kind of sucks, like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Marilyn Manson, all that shit kind of fucking comes back around to sucking. Like,
well, so I think me and you have had two then different journeys of music, because at the time of all of that shit actually being on, I was like into it, like Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, who I think are like criminally underrated. I don't know why Stone Temple Pilots aren't like put up there with like all of that like pantheon of grunge acts, but like all those bands like at the time I was like listening to. Then I kind of almost immediately like got off of that wagon like in high school and started listening to classic rock and all that shit, and got into all that, and then kind of like left like the 90s where they were. And just recently I've like gone back to like kind of like revisit like a lot of those bands. It's like, this is fucking great albums, like all that grunge era shit was good. Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots,
fucking. I never had any of those albums.
I think Nirvana. Well, all right, so that's probably the difference then. Like I had all those albums like when they were dropping, I think Nirvana is probably the worst grunge act of all of them. Like, I mean, I know the dude blew his head off, so that didn't really help, but really Nirvana has like 1.5 good albums. Like, In Utero's all right, and Nevermind's a good album. I can't argue that, but I mean, culturally, like, is that really that much to impact an entire generation? Not really, Like, I would make the argument that Pearl Jam had more of an impact than Nirvana did,
I don't know, I like skipped all that shit.
Yeah.
I went from like listening to like the music that like my parents listened to
to
like finding like Marilyn Manson.
So you went from like Kenny Loggins to Marilyn Manson?
Nah, like my mom like was like a hair metal chick. Like she fucking liked all that shit. My stepdad listened to like a lot of like AC/DC and like
Akadaka,
heavier stuff. My mom's brother was in like a hair metal band. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know what it was about. It was like it's like Manson had, especially if you listen to like the lyrics in Antichrist Superstar, like there's a lot of like anti-government, anti-conformity. Like, you got a little carried away with like the fucking lingerie and all this fucking gay shit.
The gay shit.
Yeah, but like all this like anti-government, like the sarcasm that he had and shit. Like, I don't know why that struck a chord in me, but I was like, yo, this shit is fucking dope. And then
I'll say of all of that like genre of music, like in the 90s, of like that, like, fucking like, alternative sort of like, I guess metal-ish kind of shit.
New metal?
Yeah, new metal. Well, yeah, but I wouldn't, that's just it. I
don't
wouldn't
think
classify
Manson's new metal.
Yeah, I would
new
say
metal has like 7-string basses.
Yeah.
Like Korn, Limp Bizkit,
exactly.
like.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to have, what was that tour? The Warp Tour? Like, of all of the bands that like toured on the Warp Tour, like Marilyn Manson to me is like the one that like I could still listen to and be like, I mean, this is a good song, like.
I don't know. Manson was more like an Ozfest guy than anything.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of, Ozfest, yeah.
But yeah, I don't even like later on when you get into his like eventually he gets the guitarist from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think, John 5.
Frusciante?
Nah, like it's John. Maybe that is his real name. I don't know. He calls himself John 5 in Manson's band, but he's he's a guitarist from some other band. I forget who it is, but he's like if you take away all of the theatrics that he puts on, you just listen to the music.
Did he have Navarro for a while? Is that who it was? Dave Navarro?
I don't know.
He was a guitarist for the Chili Peppers.
I know who Navarro. I think he's a bassist.
Oh, he's a bassist? Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember Twiggy in the band.
I think he was the bassist.
Yeah.
But he could have been the guitarist too. I don't remember. But whatever. All I'm trying to say is Mechanical Animals is the album that came out where he's got the titties. But if you take all that stupid shit away, it's like a solid rock album.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the one that has like a Dope Show and shit on it, right? Yeah.
Dope Show, Mechanical Animals. Let's go.
Well, I mean, if you go back even earlier, like fucking the Portrait of the American Family or whatever.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean that was like a legit like, okay, this is just like a hard rock album.
Yeah,
you know.
Then he gets a little like that. Smells like Children gets a little weird.
Yeah. Like, well, that's really the one where like the only memorable like song off it is his version of Sweet Dreams, right?
Yeah, and he's kind of like a Willy Wonka type. Kind of music video thing. Like,
yeah. I'll stand by though that like I think it's off of Portrait of an American Family, but Dope Hat, still love that song. It's a fucking great song.
Dope Hat, I believe, is on Portrait, and there's like a remix of it on Smells Like Children.
Oh, is there? Okay. That actually probably tracks, because it does kind of have that like carnival vibe to it.
Yeah, there's a song Dogma that's on Portrait that's really good too.
Yeah.
Like that is a solid album. But I literally went from like the 80s shit, I skipped over grunge, got into Manson.
Yeah.
Manson, I feel like brought me to like kind of like the newer shit, like buying like Hit Parader magazine and stuff and getting exposed to like Korn and Limp Bizkit. And then in the 9th grade, this kid, Vincent, he fucking let me listen to Slipknot album for the first time. And that's the one where like it's got the whole weird like intro song. And then like track 2 just starts like da 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 da. And like I still remember being in like wrestling practice, like listening to that shit for the first time. And I was like, yo.
I'm just ready to rub on dudes.
This is it. And I don't know, for whatever reason, man, Slipknot still to this day, I think they're the best.
Yeah. So Slipknot, I literally just got out of like that genre of music right when that like Slipknot like era happened. It's like that was the exact moment that I like found Dark Side of the Moon and was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this now.
Yeah. It didn't happen to me for later, because then after
the darkest days of my watching or listening to music was like I feel like the turning point for my brother was when he like found me listening to Insane Clown Posse, and then at that point he was like, I have to do something about this.
He's like, I can't listen to Who's Going Chicken Hunting one more time. I had a friend, one of my first best friends, I think in high school, he was like a transplant from Michigan.
Yeah,
and I think that's why we were friends, because I was newly transplanted, and anything Michigan this kid loved. So Insane Clown Posse, Twisted. And he was actually the first one to bring a Kid Rock CD around me.
Oh, yeah?
He got me turned on to that. But for a while, I was like trying to like get down on ICP just because this kid was like my friend. You know what I mean?
He was really pushing it.
All their T-shirts and stuff. And I would just be like, dude, I don't know about this ICP shit, dude. Like,
this might be a bridge too far. I had a similar friend, though, actually. It's weird that happened for you, but I had a buddy who was from, well, I wouldn't say a buddy, but whatever. He was from Georgia, and he moved up to Connecticut like when I was in 8th grade or something. And he was like the biggest, like he knew about DMX before anybody else did. So when that first album dropped, it like became like his personality. You know, it was just Damien all fucking day long. You know,
dog chain.
Yeah, exactly. You know, barking at people. But yeah, it's just like, but yeah, he fucking was obsessed with DMX. But then he kind of like we had like a falling out or whatever, and we ended up just robbing his house of all of his alcohol, which is kind of funny. Like it was just, like him and his mom went on vacation. Oh man! And we stole all of his CDs except we left him Mariah Carey's like music box. That was it. His whole fucking like catalog of CDs all gone except for one Mariah Carey CD. We were fucking
That's
dickheads.
Brutal.
Yeah. And then he couldn't even tell like who it was because I forget why. I think it was because we stole. What the fuck did we steal? I think we stole like some sort of like drugs from him too. I think it was just pot. I can't remember. But like, so like he couldn't even like report it really because like, what the fuck is he gonna say? You know?
They came in here looking for drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they took my CDs.
Yeah, and they left me with only Mariah Carey's music box. Yeah.
Why would you even have that CD?
Well, that was the joke of it. So we were like flipping through it while we were stealing all of his shit. And we were like, "No, this motherfucker listening to like Dream Lover? We're like, what the fuck is happening right now?"
I'm trying to think of like the most embarrassing CD that I've probably owned in my life.
Oh, that's a good topic. My Most embarrassing CD. You know what though? Here's the thing. I've owned embarrassing CDs, or like CDs that like I think people probably think I should be embarrassed by, but I'll like back them to like the day I die. Like if I bought a CD, I probably liked it, and I don't have no shit.
Yeah.
Like Lenny Kravitz, "Are You Gonna Go My Way" is a fucking good album. Like, did Lenny Kravitz eventually kind of make a mockery of himself? Sure, but that fucking album from beginning to end is like fucking hard rock, awesome guitar riffs. Like I'll go to my grave saying that.
I mean, I just have problems backing any rocker now because it's like they're either A, a pedophile, or B, they're secretly gay.
Yeah, maybe.
C.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think my embarrassing ones are probably like ICP-ish, you know, like that kind of, where it's like, I really am.
I'm like really struggling to like come up with one.
Yeah.
Like I remember this kid, he was like a year younger than me, but he was like my neighborhood friend.
Yeah.
He like lived in the house like that touched my property. He was like my first friend in Florida, really. But I remember one day he came home and he's like, "Oh, I got the new best stuff." And it was literally the Macarena. Who's the band that like had the train? Come on, ride the train. And ride it.
I don't remember.
That,
yeah.
CNC Music Factory.
Yeah.
And then some other song that you dance to.
Yeah.
And he was literally like him and this other kid. I think maybe he was in the same grade as him. Like I was just 1 year older.
Yeah.
And not from Florida. And they fucking start practicing these dance moves and shit. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like
I gotta go.
yeah.
So I
went home and told my mom about it. And she was like, "What the fuck?"
You had to get like an outside perspective.
Yeah,
like hey, mom, is this weird?
Yeah.
I had Tony. You remember those song "If I Had No Loot"? It's like I can't remember it, but it was like an R&B act basically.
Yo,
Yeah.
I got it.
What?
I bought Vanilla Ice's comeback CD.
Oh man, not even the one with Ice Ice Baby?
I had that on tape.
Yeah.
I got that single given to me at a radio promotion at Roger Williams Park when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I ever had it on CD, but I had, and he tries to do like some like, he almost does like a Rastafarian rock and roll kind of new metal kind of jam. There is an updated, like, hardcore rock version of Ice Ice Baby on the album.
Yikes.
That just made me think of also how there's been, like, it's been making the rounds on the viralness where Steven Seagal has an album.
Yeah.
A reggae album.
Yeah, I remember that.
And,
yeah.
like,
where it talks about, like, the punani.
That's his first line in the song is, like, "Me wants the punani."
Yeah.
But he sings the whole thing in a reggae accent.
Yeah, like a reggae tone kind of thing. Yeah.
That should be the intro when we start getting our production on.
Yeah. Steven Seagal saying, "I want the punani."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like I said, I've owned embarrassing albums, but like I stand by them. Like Counting Crows. I love Counting Crows. I don't give a shit who knows, you know?
Yeah,
Mr. Jones.
Way more than me. Aerosmith 9 Lives.
Yeah, but that's a good album. Yeah,
but I was over like fucking Steven Tyler. Like, if you think Lenny Kravitz has made a mockery of himself, like I can't even.
Well,
look
that's
at
just it. I feel like
Tyler anymore. Like, put another bracelet on. Find a way to incorporate another fucking scarf or bandana into your. Like, you're like Johnny Depp times 2.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I just feel like you have to kind of divorce like the art from the person at a certain point in time.
I don't want to do that.
Like, well, so in my early days of listening to music, like 5th, 6th grade or whatever, I was that was like when Green Day Dookie dropped. So like I was listening to like early Green Day shit, like their first couple albums, and then that album, they're a solid little punk act. I mean, now they're a complete fucking
now they're dumb.
Yeah, now they're awful. But like that 4 album stretch between Slappy Hours and Insomniac, that was a good run. Like 4 albums, they made a pretty good like pop punk like trio. It was good. But like I wouldn't back them now. Like I'm not rushing out to find Green Day's new fucking album. I
feel like even in like 2004 when they kind of got like political, I was like, yeah, Green Day's doing the right thing for the people. And now me being older and crotchety, I'm like, fucking idiots.
Well, and even then, back then, those songs were just terrible. Like, just not good.
That I Want to Be the Minority.
Yeah. Well, that was a little
That's
earlier,
that whole album, bro. That's what the whole album sounds like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That whole era, like, I'm all set with. But yeah. I mean, really, I can find the good in just about any like kind of music, with the exception really of pop country. I don't understand why everyone loves it. I just don't get it. Every song sounds exactly the fucking same. And they're all about like owning a fucking truck, having cold beers, and like, you know, hanging out in a field. Like, it's just, I don't get it. And they all sound like this. It's like, who fucking gives a shit?
I don't know. I feel like I like this, like, I feel like the dude's name is like Zach Bryan or something like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, they're country, but I feel like it's almost like blues and.
Yeah, that's
like,
different. I'm talking pop country. Like Chris Stapleton, like, I'm not like a huge fan of his music or whatever, but I get it. It's like basically like a fucking hybrid of blues and bluegrass and country. Like, it's more like outlaw country was. You know what I mean? Like fucking Willie Nelson and like, you know, Merle Haggard and shit.
I like the Outlaws.
Yeah. Like, I'm just not into this whole like fucking, you know, Nashville, like pumping out just bullshit, you know? And people love it. You know, like every song's about like Tennessee whiskey. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Heartbreak and hard alcohol.
You know? Ugh. And the people who listen to that shit are just like, you might as well just fucking be lobotomized.
Just give me Shania Twain in the leopard onesie and just turn the volume down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I remember that video being on TRL.
Yeah.
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 And I'll just be like, she's hot enough for me to just turn this down.
She was even old then. Like, she was like probably like 40 when she was like making those songs.
Know. That was like the time where I was like rooting for like Aerosmith's song from Armageddon to like beat out NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. You remember like the video for Guns N' Roses, Estranged? I always remember that on like T or
Strange.
Like,
no,
the one where it's like you have Slash like coming out of the water. Like, no.
I feel like the only Guns N' Roses video I remember is like
November Rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that used to be on like most expensive videos and pop-up video all the time and shit.
So Estranged, I think I broke that record. Estranged was the most expensive video ever made at the time. But it was like he's like underwater, he's like holding on to dolphins and shit, and like, dude, it's like wild.
I can't even tell. I don't even know the Guns N' Roses song "Estranged."
You don't know this song?
I don't think so.
Talking. It sounds kind of like it's almost like the answer to November Rain. Yeah, I can't believe you don't know that song. Talking to myself and nobody's home. No?
Nah.
Damn. That's off Use Your Illusion 2, I think.
You know what I feel like is an underrated Guns N' Roses song? The one that's on the Terminator soundtrack.
Which one's that?
You Will Be Mine, if that's the name of it.
You Will Be Mine. Yeah, that's a good song.
That's the best.
Yeah.
It might be one of my favorite GNR song.
Ooh, favorite GNR song. My favorite GNR song might be Estranged.
Like all the other ones I've heard too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I also like what the fuck is it called? I'm not good with fucking song names. The fuck is it though? Not Yesterday, but it's off Use Your Illusion 1. Fuck it. Never mind.
I never had either one of those albums either.
You never had Use Your Illusion?
Nah. I think I only ever had Appetite for Destruction.
Oh, I think Use Your Illusion.
And maybe the Terminator soundtrack. Actually, I don't even think I had the Terminator soundtrack.
I think Use Your Illusion gets off on a technicality because I think technically Use Your Illusion 1 dropped, and then I think like the next day Use Your Illusion 2 dropped. So you technically have to consider them two separate albums. But I mean, if you want to take
it's a double album.
It's a double album. And if you look at it as a double album, I don't think there is a better album that's ever been produced in the history of music.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, like I just don't even know how you don't know Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Yeah. Like I think pound for pound that's the best, you know, like I said, if you consider that one album, that's the best album ever made. I mean, it's no Slipknot, but you know.
I feel like
Insane Clown Posse, Great Malenko.
Best album ever made. It's got to play from beginning to end, and you don't want to skip any songs.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a double album, which makes it even more impressive.
So, like Slipknot, I'll skip a few.
I don't necessarily think that means anything. I think you can still skip a song that's okay. Like, to me, it's like you can have peaks and valleys, but you better have a lot of peaks then if you're going to be the best album like ever made. Because I don't give points for just having a fucking entire album of B- songs. Like, you better have like the A pluses.
Yeah.
Like, to me, Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion, like between the two double albums, you might have like 11 A pluses, like between those two. And yeah, there might be a C where you're kind of just like, I don't need to listen to that song again. But you have to take quality like over quantity, you know?
I feel like I can't come up with probably a rock album that's like that for me.
Yeah.
But like, if you give me fucking Get Rich or Die Trying, every single track on that album is a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm sick of listening to PIMP.
Yep.
And I'm sick of listening to 21 Questions.
Yeah.
But every other fucking song on that album is about fucking murdering people, selling drugs, making fucking money, and they bang.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably, in my opinion, like that's probably the best album of all time.
Wow.
Just on all bangers.
Yeah.
It's got 2 no bangers, but I feel like there's 16 other tracks on it that you're like, yo.
Yeah.
This dude's fucking crazy. And I can't name one rock album where, like, every single song on it, I'm like, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I just can't. I'm sure that they're out there, but...
Yeah. I can no longer dispute your love for 50 Cent. It's just one of those things where I like 50 Cent. I don't know if he belongs in the pantheon of musical artists of all time, but... Hey, teach their own.
I love.
Also, a lot of it comes down to like when you came into it. You know, like you were at a very formative age. It did like kind of speak to you. You know.
Yeah.
So I can't hate on that. You know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just trying to think of one.
I mean, Floyd's got to be up there. I like The Wall or Dark Side of the Moon would probably be in the discussion.
I'll never skip a Pink Floyd song, but I'm never like, this is a fucking banger. Like,
well, you know what? Actually, I think Pink Floyd should be the best band ever. Like, you know, and some people could actually have them as that argument. To me, though, the problem with Pink Floyd is this. They have 13.5-minute long songs that should be 3 different songs that are 4 minutes long. And then they have 1.5-minute long songs that should be like 3.5 minutes long. They suffer from that, like, what song do I actually put on for Pink? Like, I love Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Shine On You Crazy Diamond might be my favorite song ever written. But holy shit, man, it takes like 6.5 minutes before the song even starts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that kind of time, you know? Like, just fucking get to it, man. Just go. Like, nobody's here to hear, like, down, 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 down for fucking 6.5 minutes, you know? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but if you were, like, peaking on mushrooms for the first time ever in the 70s, you're probably like,
Sure.
This is the fucking best song
Well,
ever.
and even then, I say that, but then I'll listen to the whole fucking 13.5 minutes of it and be like, it's a fucking great song. It's the greatest song ever fucking written. But at the same time, like, come on, dude. When I'm in a car ride and I'm going to the grocery store, I need this shit fucking snappy here, man. Like, I have to get somewhere. I'm getting out of the car in 4 minutes. I don't have 12 minutes to listen to this, you know?
That just makes me think of this one clip from Louis that I remember where he's got his girls in the car.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a Rush song or something that comes on.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking doing all the little
Neil
things.
Peart. Yeah.
And it just keeps cutting back to the girls being like.
Yeah. That's one band. Are you into Rush at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't understand it. People, though, who like Rush, like, there's nobody who likes Rush. You either love Rush or you hate them. Like,
I think if anything, like I didn't know that much about them, and then like that movie with the slap of the bass,
slap
like it
of
just
the
kind of
bass.
like emasculated them for me.
yeah.
Like, oh, that friendless Paul Rudd likes these guys. They suck. They're for losers.
I mean, Jesus. It was fucking Paul Rudd taking fucking strays here. I mean, I respect Neil Peart as a drummer. He was obviously very good, but I think it's kind of just like, it's a little bit masturbatory to have like a fucking 700 fucking piece drum set. It's like, yeah, you need that. You need like a pair of wind chimes tuned down to like B flat. What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, this is insane.
He's like, I'm into it.
Yeah.
This is my life.
You needed like a whole fucking tractor trailer just for his fucking drum set. I don't know. To me, it's just like, this is a bit silly.
Speaking of drummers, I feel like a person that I idolized as a young man, I thought was very fucking cool, is now being like the lamest guy ever. Travis Barker.
Oh yeah, he's the worst.
Like
that whole Kardashian shit.
Yeah, like,
once the
what?
Kardashians got their fucking hooks on you, dude, you just aren't the same. Look at it. Actually, they fucking drove Kanye crazy. They fucking turned an Olympic decathlon athlete into a fucking woman. Like, once the Kardashians get a hold of you, Lamar Odom, Jesus Christ, I almost forgot
he,
about
like,
the guy who lost his mind and smoked crack.
I
you know?
think he's smoking crack and dating a transgender person
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. At this point in time, if you get like wrapped up in with the Kardashians, like, shame on you. Like, at this point in time, the jury's out. You should know better, you know? I mean, who would have thought that the lucky Kardashian was the one who fucking, died of cancer, you know?
Damn.
Just saying, you know?
Isn't he also? That's funny. This started out kind of with OJ, and
Yeah.
it could be ending with OJ. But isn't he the one? Didn't he take like some shady suitcase?
Oh,
Like OJ is away, right? And he comes back to like he goes on the Bronco thing, and what? They can't find him, or does he pull over in the
no, he
Bronco?
pulls over eventually, yeah, with Al Cowlings. Yeah.
But how does he? Does he get bailed out and then he comes back? So supposedly this briefcase that he hands off to the Kardashian guy has like the clothes
Oh, really?
from the
Yeah.
murder scene. And then the guy's just like, I don't know what happened to it. And that never materializes into any type of charges for like
Yeah.
impeding justice or anything. Like,
Well, there was a theory for a while too that Khloe Kardashian was O.J. Simpson's
Yeah.
illegitimate kid.
yeah, they were gonna take a paternity test on
Yeah.
the show, and then it was like she's like, this is my dad, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah. Which is code for you took one off of screen and probably are O.J. Simpson's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, then what is it? The son, the Rob Kardashian, whatever. Like he was on the show, and then he got like fat and lost all of his hair, and then left the show, and now he's like fucking like black strippers and having kids with them. Like who's that? Black China. Yeah.
I don't know what her claim to fame is.
But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, she doesn't really have one other than being Rob Kardashian's baby mama.
You know that there's some other theory on there's OJ and Nicole Brown Simpson have a son, and he was arrested as a juvenile for
yeah.
like some serial
Yeah, this is the theory that he
shit.
like killed her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he saw his mom getting down with some other guy
Yeah.
and like went into a rage and killed him.
Yeah.
And like OJ was
can
like,
see
it's
it.
all right, I'll get off.
Yeah. That's a pretty, well, as a father of 3 kids, like if one of my kids, like if I could have taken the hit for one of my kids not going to jail, I probably would have,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, maybe. I could see it.
What a good guy OJ was.
Yeah. It's Father of the Year.
Father of the Year 2025.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah.
Cancer got him.
It's going to get us all, so.
I like the fact that after he got out of jail, after all of this stuff, he gets in trouble again for like strong arming his merchandise back.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
he
the
goes into,
kidnapping
like,
charge.
like a Las Vegas hotel room and pretty much just like with him and a thug friend with a couple of guns and is like, this is all mine.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're going to call the police. And he's like, call him. It's my stuff. And then they're like, actually, OJ, you're arrested again.
Yeah. It's a plot twist. And then also we're going to throw the book at you because we know you got away with murder
Yeah.
the last time.
Plot twist, the parents of the people you killed sold this to them,
Yeah.
and it's their property.
Jesus. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. We need a good old-fashioned like murder in this country to bring us all back together. Remember how awesome that was?
Slightly missed.
Oh, I know. That was a fucking wild time to be alive, though. I don't think people realize, like, when OJ killed allegedly killed his fucking wife, yeah, that was like that was everywhere for like a year.
Dude, that was
Yeah.
like the first time they like you turn on like C-SPAN or whatever, or like Court TV,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it
You
was.
watched
be
the
on
whole fucking thing.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like literally made the careers of people, like Kato Kalin, remember him, the fucking the limo driver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. This whole situation though does make like one of my favorite comedians is Norm Macdonald,
Yeah.
but Norm Macdonald loves referring to the other guy that died
Yeah.
as like a waiter or a bartender.
Yeah.
Like he just loves like throwing dirt on like the service industry.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you could kill a waiter.
Yeah.
Like we're just this insignificant piece of shit.
You know about like the whole like have I mentioned this? I feel like I don't know why, but OJ comes up a lot on this show, does it? So have I mentioned the Norm Macdonald thing with OJ?
I mean, I know about it where he just wouldn't give it up, and
Yeah.
that's
Like
like why he got kicked off of SNL.
Yeah, because the president of the NBC was like fucking friends with OJ Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking baller move, though. Just being like, oh, not only am I not going to stop making OJ jokes, I'm going to make more of them now. You know?
On live TV.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Here's
Well, they did.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't stop me.
Yeah. That's true.
But what about like, you ever seen his like derailing of like late night TV shows? Like he would go on Conan and just tell like a 5-minute long joke.
Oh my god,
like
the moth joke
the
is
moth joke,
so
like,
good. The moth joke might be my favorite joke ever told.
But there's not even, it's not just the moth joke. There's like 3 other ones that he's done before that.
Yeah.
Like, that were like the precursors to him.
Yeah.
And then there's footage of him being on The View.
Yeah.
Where he's like talking about Clinton being a murderer and they're all getting so mad at him about it. He was fucking funny.
Yeah. He also, I mean, he had balls. He had the balls to say anything he wanted to say,
and
no matter what.
He was the host of the ESPYs the one time, and he brings up Charles Woodson, and he goes, the first defensive player to ever win a Heisman. And he goes, nobody will ever be able to take that away from him. He's like, all else to kill your wife and a bartender.
Yeah, that's a good joke, too.
He's got a lot of them. Or what about on the, I think it's on the roast of Bob Saget, he like intentionally bombs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's so bad that it's like, that
hilarious.
It's good. Yeah.
You ever see Dirty Work?
No.
I gotta like start like a list of like the movies you have to see.
I don't think I could get through the first 15 minutes without just fucking getting into doom scrolling.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway. All right.
Yeah. That's it.
I feel like we did enough.
Yeah. Episode fucking 13 in the books.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, follow. Let's go.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Yeah.